Hey guys, so today we have a video on one of the most unlikable couples on TikTok. I am not a massive consumer of family content, couples content. I find all of it either staged, fake, or just cringe, and that's my opinion. I almost dropped my tea. That's my opinion. People are allowed to like whatever they want to like. Today's video is actually very kindly sponsored by NordVPN, who have been a sponsor of my channel for years now, and that's the only VPN I've ever used and will continue to use. So with every purchase of a 2-year NordVPN plan, you'll receive an exclusive discount plus 4 additional bonus months completely for free. That's with my link in the description. Or you can just go on nordvpn.com/Angelika Oles. NordVPN is obviously a VPN service that protects your internet data behind a wall of next generation encryption, but it's also used to plop you down in different countries, and that's mainly how I use it. Obviously the threat protection is great. It protects from malicious sites, downloads, malware, anything like that. They have a strict no logs policy and servers all around the world. The way I use it is typically for research. There are a lot of news sites that are limited to whatever place they are from, but I still want to know what's happening around the world in different places, and sometimes I need that for video content, sometimes just for myself, and so I can very easily just click over to whatever country that news is from and just read it with no limits. It also obviously applies to streaming services. We get limited on how much content we can consume for the price tags that we pay, and streaming isn't getting any cheaper. So this amazing deal on NordVPN, you can just jump over to a different country and watch content from over there. Recently there were some documentaries that came out on American Netflix that I was super interested in. They were exclusive to America, so I just plopped myself over to the United States and I was able to watch everything that they had to provide. And it works from basically anywhere you are. There will always be a country somewhere else that has more content or different content than you have. Mainly with reality TV, a lot of people love to watch reality TV from different countries, and you want to watch it live with everyone else and not on catch up, so you can just jump over there. I know a lot of Americans love UK Love Island, and so that's something you can do every year when it rolls around. Other than obviously the perks of being able to access way more content on the internet, the security aspect of things is the most important, with many different types of attacks on your data, mainly when you go out into the public and use public Wi-Fi at cafes and hotels. It can be compromised. It can be someone essentially pretending to be this Wi-Fi connection and making it look really legit, and when you log on they have all your data, and so having NordVPN always turned on is definitely going to help you with that. So if you do work a lot in cafes or libraries, or you travel a lot to different hotels, NordVPN is definitely the way forward to make sure everything you have stays safe. And we have so much data on all our devices these days. That's probably where the most of our data is, and so you should definitely protect that. So like I said, you can get a 2-year NordVPN plan with an exclusive discount and 4 additional months completely free if you click the link in description, or just go on nordvpn.com/Angelika Oles. Let's get back into the tea. This is the most like unlikable couple. They come up on my For You page a lot when people talk about them. That's the only reason I know who they are, but they were in a lot of scandals recently. One most recently, but I'm going to kind of go back to a few of the other ones just to kind of set the scene for what we're dealing with here today. And today we'll talk about Matt and Abby, who are a married couple with kids. I think they have 2 kids, and they make a lot of that like that content where it's, look how in love we are, isn't this amazing? And I think their content came up on a lot of people's For You pages when, for example, when Abby was pregnant and he would do things for her, like buy her food that she really liked, or they would film content where she's like crying and he gives her a nice drink or something, and people were like, oh my god, to have a husband like Matt. And then since then, I think people have found out more than they wanted to know about this couple and are not happy. Let's start with them blowing up over being a well-liked couple. I think I have 3 examples of kind of what you guys probably have seen on your For You pages. So we have this, which is, has anyone ever told you your high school relationship is gonna fail? I'm actually gonna mute it because I think there's just like music playing, so don't want to get copyrighted. This got 2.4 million likes, not views, likes. And this is them, 8th grade. So obviously like a high school sweetheart couple. We have 12th grade. This is very cute. I mean, I can see how, if you look at this and this is your goal, I can see how this can be, I don't know, motivating. I think motivating is the wrong word here. Oh, they got engaged at Disney. That makes sense. I'm a Disney adult, but that's like a different version of Disney adult. Wow, wow, wow. So they actually got engaged and married in their sophomore year of college, which is crazy. Like, married before graduating from college is crazy. This is them at 22, 23, pregnant for the first time. Yeah, so you get it. That's that. And then we have this.
Not want the water?
No, I don't want the water.
Why not?
I only like my cup.
You only like your cup? You want me to go look for your cup?
No. I'll get it myself later.
I can go get it. I'll go get your cup for you.
No, I don't want you to.
I'll do it. I got you your cup.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that you're sad. Can I get you anything else? No. Are you hungry?
If you keep talking to me, I'm gonna...
Yeah, obviously showing the like ups and downs of pregnancy and the emotional roller coaster that it all is. People found that very like funny. Then we have Abby stopped taking her pain medication, and it's just showing him taking care of her in recovery.
On day 2 of recovery, Abby stopped taking her pain medication. Now, I knew it was going to be tremendously painful for her, so I tried to...
My whole thing is, the reason why I don't watch this content, like this all looks really cute, and I think it's a great example for men to follow, absolutely. But I just can't imagine that they were doing this, like imagine being in recovery right now, like imagine that, okay? And you've just stopped taking your medication, your pain medication, but you're still in pain. Just imagine all that. And then your husband is having to move the camera to get different angles of him helping you move. So he was helping her walk and then said, okay, wait there. Moved the camera and then went, okay, keep on going. And then wait there. And then change. So like here. Okay, let's watch that.
Stop taking her pain medication. Now, I knew it was going to be tremendously painful for her, so I tried to stop her, but she didn't care. She didn't like the idea of not being able to...
I don't know. There's just something about that I'm like, oh, I just can't be bothered. But if this helps some kids in something, I don't know, then so be it. Now, I couldn't find the original video of this, but Matt is trying to be a singer. I don't know when you stop trying and you just are, but let's just say he's trying to be a singer, and he made a song called Still Not Enough, which talks about how he's got everything in life, you know, kids and a wife, but it's still not enough. And he played that for her in the car and she got really emotional about it. And people basically like, she's just like given birth, postpartum, and you make a song about how your life is still not enough and that like you want more. And people are really upset about it. Now, some people on the other end were saying, are men not allowed to talk about being depressed? And men are also allowed to have postpartum depression. And maybe that's his way of talking about that and how much their life has changed at such a young age. Like, yeah, completely valid. But I just think people just already were seeing glimpses of behavior that he didn't like. And this song and playing that for her was just like the cherry on top. But I couldn't find the original video, so I'm just have someone like listening to it.
I thought by now I'd be happier. I thought by now that I'd have it all figured out.
Anyway, you guys can't get the whole song gist, but it's basically just like, yeah, like he has kids and wife, but he thought by now he'd be happier and all of this stuff. And he plays it for her in the car. She's very upset about it. Now, the reason why that song struck people the wrong way is because they have a podcast together and their clips go big a lot of the time and not for good reason. So we have this one, which is a clip about... Does Abby feel the same after birth? And people thought, wow, could have kept that one in the drafts. Let's just... Oh, and I'm having to find a stitch of it because I think it got deleted or I just couldn't find it.
Feel different down there after birth.
Yeah, actually. I feel like it goes back, but it doesn't go back to exactly how it
Yeah,
was
we
before.
talked about this the other day, and I was kind of surprised to hear you say that.
'Cause
'Cause you never told me until I asked you.
I always heard, oh, it goes back to normal, but it doesn't go back to exactly the way it was before.
So, maybe I shouldn't go into too much detail.
We can
Do
say
you
whatever.
still like it after?
I still like it, of course.
You like it as much?
I would say so.
That doesn't sound very...
I think I like it pretty good.
I think I like it pretty good. That would be my 13th reason. I'm sorry. What do you mean? Got pregnant twice, gave birth twice, and you're like, I like it pretty good. It's okay. It'll do. I can tolerate it. Is basically what that was giving a little bit. Which, like, look, it's also her choice, right, to ask these questions on a public platform. Like, I'm not taking all the blame. I'm not putting it all on him and taking it all away from her. Like, she is also filming that content, asking him the question, taking part in editing and giving the final approval to have this stuff go on the internet. Like, clearly she's also okay with this being out there. I just feel like, once again, this could be like, oh, and you know, this isn't a big deal. I just feel like it keeps on going, okay? After she gave birth, he gave her the silent treatment for 2 days because he felt like his life was going to change too much. Let's just let it run. Let's just let it play. Okay. Oh, once again, we have the Shameless podcast reacting to it because I couldn't find the original video.
I was having this like realization moment of, okay, like my life just changed big time. And for a little bit, I was like, wow, like all my career goals have to go to the wayside, and I just kind of...
All my career goals. You make family content on TikTok. What career goals are going off to the side because you had a kid? Like, surely that's actually, in a sick and twisted way, more content. And I think they're like Mormon or just religious in some way. And like, no offense to all my religious people out there, but it makes sense because they did get married in college, right? I wonder if they went to like BYU. I'm just watching The Secret Lives of the Mormon Wives, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I love it, but the husbands need to, I was going to say something really aggressive. I was going to say need to die. And that's like, that's a joke. That's a joke. That is a joke. It's not a death threat. But the husbands, some of them are giving Matt a little bit. And then some of them are giving worse than Matt, like way worse than Matt. If you guys are watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, let me know what you guys think. Because some of these women are trying to be like feminist and I'm kind of appreciating it and I'm here for it. Some of the wives are like terrified of their husbands, but all of the wives are the breadwinners in the house. All of the wives. And yet all the husbands are like, no, I'm the man of the house and you should be leading. No, I should be leading and you should be submissive to me, blah, 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 blah. But like all of the wives are breadwinners. That's not very Mormon. I think like if you're gonna do with one thing in your relationship, like, you know, do without it, I think some other things need to go too. I think some other things need to go too. And there was this one guy, sorry I'm going on for a bit of a tangent, but Matt and Abby to remind me of that whole show, when Jen was like, no, but like for brand deals and content, I need to stay here, so we can't go to New York for your medical school. And he went, I actually don't care what you want. While he gambled away all of his money, and she's the breadwinner. And he has to like ask her for gambling money. He has to be like, Mommy, can I have some gambling money? Oh, I don't care. I'm going where I want to go. Oh, these men, they make me fucking sick. Anyway, he reminds me of them a little bit, but like not as bad, just like not like abusive, but he's in that like annoying stage, right? There's like good, annoying, abusive. He's like in the annoying stage. Matt was what I'm talking about.
Well, I was kind of frustrated a little bit.
I could tell.
And I just kind of shut down and didn't say anything. Like I was just like quiet.
Yeah, that was hard for me.
I was doing like everything for Augie, and so I'm like, here I am, like I have all these like big goals and big dreams, and I have to put them to the wayside, and I'm like, I'm stuck here, and I was kind of mad.
Yeah.
And that just lasted for like a day.
It lasted like 2 days.
You think it lasted 2 days?
For sure.
Did it last into the second day? Maybe it did last for the second day. But then it went away.
What an asshole.
Yeah. There are some things we should leave unspoken. And like in these religious circles, the men are always pushing for having kids, right? It's like a weird thing. I don't know what it is, but it's like a weird breeding kink almost. They always push for this. And then here he gets his kid and he's like, oh, I can't be a pop star anymore because I've got a kid. It's just so fucking annoying. Like, shut up. What do you mean your wife gave birth and you're giving her the silent treatment for 2 days as if she did anything wrong? Like, this is psychotic to me. I can't see this any other way. Like, it's crazy. It's criminal. It's actually criminal. Let's put him in jail. This is criminal. Okay? And then we have her, basically in that same episode, I'm pretty sure, she then goes and talks about how she feels very overlooked when she gives birth because all the attention is on the baby. And this is in the same breath as him saying, yeah, I was just ignoring you and giving you the silent treatment for 2 days. And she's like, you know? Let's just watch that.
Everyone's eyes are on the baby and wanting to take care of the baby, and everyone's been so nice and kind and gracious to me. But it's easy for moms to get overlooked.
Did you feel overlooked at the hospital?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Was it hospital staff? Was it family? Was it me?
No, it's just, it's hard for you to understand.
Yeah.
Like,
It's interesting that she doesn't answer because I don't think it was the staff overlooking her. Could have been other family members, but it was most definitely you giving her the silent treatment. You know?
it's easy to see the physical needs, but it's really hard to see the emotional needs.
Yeah.
The emotional needs after birth are so great.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel pathetic to like say that, but I know that that's the experience of so many other women too. I don't know how to explain it. It's a really, really emotional experience, and I don't know how to say, like, it feels like the world is ending, and it feels like my life as I knew it is completely uprooted, and I don't know if I like the new life, even though I want to love this new life so much, and I love the baby, and I don't know why I'm not as happy as I thought I was.
Postpartum depression is what it is, and men are also allowed to go through it. Absolutely. I just think giving your freshly birth given wife the silent treatment for 2 days is insane. Insane. Like, absolutely batshit crazy. But like, it's one thing to do it, it's another thing to talk about on a podcast, you know? Maybe like some people shouldn't have podcasts. Then we have this, he's upset because his birthday and Father's Day appeared on the same day, and he felt like he wasn't given enough attention by his, at the time, pregnant wife. Like, she didn't do enough for him to feel appreciated. So he's banning, was it Father's Day this year?
We've decided as a family that we are not celebrating Father's Day this year.
Father's Day, it's always in June, and it's like always around.
Last year was June 18th, which is Matt's birthday, so he had Father's Day and his birthday on the same day. And
so sad.
I will say, I did kind of combine the holidays.
You did combine the two of them. It's okay though. I mean, you were pregnant, you were uncomfortable, you were
We
close.
just gotten back from our baby moon that day. I got you a cake from DQ.
I guess we had just gotten home.
And had our family over and grilled.
Well, I grilled, but I know a lot of dads grill on their birthday. Yeah. But yeah, we had Father's Day.
And I grew your child.
You did grow my child.
All day, every day.
But like Father's Day and my birthday were the same exact day.
Yeah, and
it kind of was a bummer.
I'm going to be honest with you, I failed you. I'm
so sorry. But you know what? This year, we're boycotting Father's Day for the month of June and celebrating it.
The like, I failed you is crazy. I mean, you're a grown man. Like, you're actually a grown man. Your birthday's every year. Like, I don't... It's getting a little bit tiring. Anyway, and then the last like cherry on top is divorce is not an option for them. I think that does kind of go back into the like religious roots of divorce is not an option. I think in the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, two of them are divorced. No, three of them are divorced. One of them should be divorced. Jen, run away, you know? And Zach, if I see you, it's on site. Because actually, what the yeah, most of them should be divorced actually. And I'm shocked that they are. But I don't think they're very Mormon on that show. Like, it's called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and I just don't see much Mormonism happening. So that's why they're all divorced. But these lot don't think divorce is an option. So
us, like, divorce is just not on the table. It's not an option. I think people go into marriage thinking divorce is an option. That's why they kind of work themselves towards divorce subconsciously.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's very valid reasons for divorce. There's so many different circumstances that could, like, that totally validate those people's situations. But for us, in our relationship, I think that the reason we're able to have a strong marriage, that doesn't mean that we don't have conflict, we don't have weak spots. It's because we both believe in the commitment we made to each other.
Okay, so divorce is not an option. That all makes sense. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so then recently they got into some drama, some heat, because Abby posted on their Instagram stories. Actually, wasn't even on TikTok, but she basically took it down a few hours later. But she posted that they were on a cruise ship and there are two like conjoining rooms. There's the one where there's like a door between the two rooms. They have the kids sleeping, I think, in separate rooms, and they have these two like tents, like these sleeping tents that you can put a sleeping monitor through. They're like specific tents for babies and toddlers to sleep in that creates like a blackout. That actually sounds kind of pleasant. I would love to sleep in one of those tents. But yeah, it creates like a blackout experience. If you travel a lot with your kids, it gives them like a consistent experience, like a consistent sleeping experience everywhere you go. But they have two of them, and they have two monitors and two conjoining rooms. And one of these nights, they posted that they went to a restaurant in the evening to eat, and that they had the two kids in the tent, and that they were FaceTiming the two monitors looking into the tents. And people basically saying like, did you leave your two toddlers alone in these rooms on this cruise ship? Because why else would you be FaceTiming the monitors? Like, if you had someone else staying in the rooms with them, they would be looking at the monitors and they could just text you like, oh yeah, they're still asleep, blah, blah, blah. But like, you're FaceTiming the monitors, so you're watching it the whole time. And I believe people said that the monitors, like, you know, if you have the actual monitor for the camera, I think the distance is like 10 feet or something, which means they would have had to be more than 10 feet away, obviously, so they can't bring the monitor with them. So they're having to FaceTime the monitor for that reason. Like the camera's in the tent, the monitor's like outside of the tent, and they're having something FaceTime both of the monitors so they can watch them from the phones. Now, I can't imagine Wi-Fi on cruise ships is amazing. Like, yeah, we're in 2024, but you are in the middle of the ocean, so I just don't think the Wi-Fi is incredible, and tech can go a little bit funky. So I don't think that's a super like consistent method of seeing things. Now, two, I don't know if I just watch too much true crime, but the amount of people going missing and people just dying on cruise ships and then it never being resolved scares me, okay? Absolutely scares me. So the fact that they would just allegedly leave their kids alone in the room and FaceTime it, and they are these like public figures, so a lot of people on the cruise ship could know who they are and be seeing all these updates, and she literally posted it on her Instagram story as she was doing it, so people could literally be watching that and going, oh, so your kids are just alone in your rooms? Let me go grab them, you know, like... What was my third point? Oh, sometimes people just come into your room. I know you can put like the do not disturb thing, but like room service could just come to your room, and sometimes they do like checks. I think it was actually Disney, which I'm not saying this was a Disney cruise, I'm just saying a whole different kind of scenario. Disney allegedly does like forced entries at specific hours to check for things like, I believe it's like guns and stuff like that. And so you could literally put the do not disturb sign on your Disney hotel door, and they'll still come in at specific hours. They'll give you like a warning, like a, hey, we have to come in, and they'll do a sweep of your whole room to check if you have anything that shouldn't be on site. And so yeah, I don't know how these searches in these cruise ships happen and, you know, what the deal is, but it could be a case of like room service just comes into your room, you have these two kids, or what if there was like an emergency, right? Something sets on fire, there's people running around, chaos. I know I'm bringing up like super crazy scenarios, but it's these scenarios where people will have like a documentary made about it 10 years down the line, and they'll be like, if only I hadn't left my kids alone in the room, they would have been alive now. Like, do you know what I mean? It's always so morbid where they're like, it was this one bad decision, and yeah, that's how it happens. It's just like one bad decision and suddenly it's a tragedy. What if there was some kind of an alert, some kind of an alarm going off, even just like a practice alarm? Don't they do those a lot where they're like, okay, meet up in this spot? I think there's a plan though, like they'll tell you what time they're happening at, but there could literally just be something happening, pandemonium, people are running around. Cruise ships are massive, so to get from one side to the other is like 20 minutes or something of walking. What if the corridors are all blocked off and your kids are in the rooms? And, you know, they post that story. I'm just going to show it to you guys now because I went on this big tangent, right, about everything. So here's someone talking about it.
Okay, so the Matt and Abby drama, the plot super thickens. If you missed this entire thing, let me catch you up. So Abby posted on her Instagram story that they went on a cruise with their two kids and they were having a terrible time going out to dinner with their two kids. So they decided that the solution to this problem was putting them to bed, putting on monitors, and then just leaving the kids in the room and going to bed. And we all thought that this was just one room. Well, Matt has posted a room tour of the cruise on his Instagram. He walks through everything. And then he talks about how Abby is staying in the room next to theirs so that they can separate the kids so they get a good night's sleep. So y'all, we're not talking about one room, two monitors. We're talking about two rooms, each with one monitor. So we now have twice the margin for error. We now have two monitors that can freeze or be dysfunctional, and two opportunities for this to go incredibly wrong. I'm like actually speechless. When I found out about this,
you guys get the point. Like a lot of margin of error. Now, another case. Anyone heard of Madeleine McCann? I know that wasn't on a cruise ship. It was in like a hotel resort. But hotel resorts and cruise ships to me feel kind of similar. It's these like weird bubbles of fun, and then sometimes something can go wrong. And it's really shocking for everyone. Yeah, Madeleine McCann was left in her room with her twin siblings, and a lot of other kids were being left alone as well because Madeleine McCann's parents were friends, like became friends with this group of people in that same resort, and they all had kids, and they would leave the kids in different rooms, and then one person every hour would get up and go check on all the rooms and then come back, and then another person, and it would just basically rotate so they could go out for drinks and have like dinner in the evenings without the kids in the restaurant. And that was literally in the same resort, like not more than 20 meters away, essentially. And then eventually someone went up and then noticed that Madeleine's like balcony door was left open and came in. She was gone. I believe the twins were fine, but she was gone and haven't found like the perpetrator since. She's obviously most likely probably deceased by now. And yeah, so that happened, and it was literally like in the same resort. So cruise ships, I mean, there was that Disney cruise where a woman went missing. Yeah, Rebecca Corium, she went missing on a Disney Wonder cruise, and she was actually a crew member who disappeared while they were at a port off the Pacific coast, and they basically just had the next cruise. So they were like getting off that one cruise, and they noticed that she was missing, and then when they alerted the Disney staff and said like, hey, could we stop this next cruise from leaving because everyone's coming off and the new people coming on, they said no, like this is scheduled and it needs to go. And then a bunch of new people came on the cruise ship and it went off, and she was just missing, and no one found her because there's like different laws in the ocean and stuff. I'm trying to make it morbid, but like, I don't know, if you have kids, you just kind of have to be a little bit more. Anyway, so they pressed the explanation where they basically said that they did not leave them alone. Okay, but just let me know what you guys think about this.
Hey everybody, we usually would not be making a video like this, but there is information circulating about us that is completely untrue, so we just wanted to set the record straight, clear the air, because we take our role as parents extremely seriously, and we love our children more than anything in the entire world, and we're very protective of our kids. So we just got back from a 7-night cruise with Abby's extended family, and this was everyone from Abby's grandma, our children's great-grandma, to our 1 and 2-year-old. And so where this whole controversy started, I guess, is a few days ago, Abby posted on her Instagram story that we were at dinner FaceTiming the baby monitors while our children were asleep in their staterooms. And people started to speculate and believe that we had left our children alone in their staterooms. And that is just completely untrue, because we had someone with our children at all times on this boat, period.
I can see where my story did lead to misunderstanding, which is why I ended up deleting it several hours after posting.
I always find this so like cringe, like these pre-made statements, because the way she starts talking and he turns as if this is like the first time he's heard it and he's so interested. Like,
left our children alone in their staterooms, and that's just completely untrue, because we had someone with our children at all times on this boat, period.
I can see where my story did lead to misunderstanding, which is why I ended up deleting it several hours after posting it, because I could see that it was causing concern and misunderstanding. And I do want to say thank you so much to those of you that were concerned about the safety and well-being of our children as their parents. That is our first and foremost main concern. But to know that other people share those same concerns for our precious boys, it really means a lot. So thank you. But I do want to clarify that we have not, would not, will not ever leave our children unattended. We would never ever want to put them in harm's way in any way. I do want to clear up the baby monitor situation. Our children sleep in these blackout tents every single night, whether or not we're traveling or if we're just home. And a feature of these tents is they have a spot for a sound machine and a spot for a monitor. And even if we are sleeping in the exact same room as our boys, we always turn their monitor on so we can watch and see what's happening inside the tent, make sure they're okay, see if they've fallen asleep or if they've woken up. We just love to have eyes on them. We're always concerned about them. And so that's why even when we would, tag team and take turns at family dinner, we would turn on FaceTime so we could also have eyes on them as their parents if we weren't the ones, attending them in that moment.
And we're so thankful to them, you guys, because we spent a lot of our time on this boat in our staterooms manning the baby monitors. And if it wasn't for Abby's extended family, we really would have not gotten a chance to really get out of the room. So thank you to them. Thank you to you guys for listening to what we had to say.
That explanation kind of makes sense, right? Like, it could be that they had someone, they said they were rotating through people looking at them, like tag teaming.
And so that's why even when we would, tag team and take turns at family dinner, we would turn on FaceTime so we could also have...
Don't really know what that means. I guess like throughout the dinners, maybe someone would go for half an hour and then another person would come in, that person would come back for half an hour, and then like maybe that was happening. And so they just had the FaceTime up so that they could see. But I guess a lot of people are still thinking, why would you need the FaceTime if people are, I don't know, like this could just be a completely innocent mistake. I mean, the explanation kind of makes sense. They're not very specific with who was looking after the kids, but I guess they are saying tag teaming, so maybe a lot of people were just rotating through. Is it a Madeleine McCann situation? People would literally just go up, check, come back? Or was it like an actual like sit with the kids and then rotate through? But you can see how it would get misconstrued, right? Someone said, I really just want to give Abby a hug. She looks so sad. A babysitter here. So I find it very common that parents have cameras, baby monitors on, and they watch them even while I'm there. It's just another safety measure, so it makes sense why you'd do that. I mean, this seems to be hitting like their audience, the way they look at each other. I'm so sick of the Matt and Abby slander. People just decided they want to get you cancelled. It's ridiculous. Love you guys. Someone said, why are Matt's knees so ashy? Put some moisturizer on. I mean, besides the point. Even when my parents are watching my kids for date night, I'm always checking the monitors on my phone. I knew there was more to it. So I guess a lot of people believe them. Great explanation. I do feel it's a valuable lesson for you guys that because you have such a big following, people easily misunderstand things. Also think it's lovely that you thanked people for caring and being concerned rather than going on the defense. I mean, look, to me, it kind of makes sense. If I give them the benefit of the doubt, I don't know these people. All I know is that Matt's a bit annoying. Their relationship is a bit weird to me, but that's not my business. I don't care. As long as they say things that are a bit out of pocket, not my business, I don't care. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, they don't show their kids a lot, and they don't show like parenting a lot, as in like actual hands-on parenting. They just talk about parenting a lot and postpartum and things, so I can kind of respect and appreciate that. And if I do give them the benefit of the doubt, that story does make sense. Like, even if someone's looking after your kids, you still want to keep an eye on them just in case. Sure. Did it look like they were saying that they were leaving the kids alone? Yeah. And are they being scrutinized more than maybe they would have been because they're disliked already? Like, I think because people already dislike them and dislike mainly Matt, everything they do is being put under a microscope, so they're obviously gonna heavily scrutinize everything that you do. Completely understand that. It could also be that they are literally lying through their teeth, and that's exactly what they did, and they thought it was such like a genius idea. Like, hey guys, if you don't want to deal with your kids for the night, put some FaceTime on the cameras and watch them. It could really go either way, but because we don't know, like, there's really no point of speculating. Like, unless someone, I don't know, comes out with some slam dunk evidence that says otherwise, sure. But right now it's left at a bit of like a question mark, which is annoying. But just let me know what you guys think about Matt and Abby, like just as a couple. Have you seen their content before? What do you think? What do you think about this story? Was it overblown? Or were people validly upset? So subscribe with the bell icon for engagement. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.